I'd already decided it was going to be my last night in Max's village. I was sorry to be leaving, but I was restless again.
Beware! The day grows dark, and demons stalk the gap by night.
Harsh old woman, stop your superstitious nonsense. Besides, this is the best time of day for fishing, eh, Milo?
Yes, Dad. Look, Foster! I use these broken sensors to make a fish alarm. It detects the fish before it bites.
Nice work, Milo.
Milo was just like me as a boy, and the tech skills I'd taught him would help the village after I left.
Do you really have to go, Foster? How can we ever pay you back for all you've done?
It's been my pleasure, Max. One of Anita's pies will be payment enough.
I owed the Gap folks so much. My first tribe fostered me when I was orphaned all those years ago. They taught me how to recycle tech scavenged from city dumps. Soon, I even built myself a playmate. Joey and I were always together. As I grew, I upgraded him. He became the best friend I ever had. But then,
Foster! Foster, wake up! The sensors detect a fish. It's a big one.
What the? It was no fish.
Max, keep back!
Marlo!
Dad! What are they?
Max! Drop him, you...
Dad! Foster! Help me! Help me!
Milo had gone. The machine, too. But its riders had left something behind.
Max? Milo? What's happened, Foster? Where's my son? Max? Max? Oh, no! I told them there were demons stalking the dark.
The stalker that attacked us was a machine, not a demon.
Please, Foster, I don't understand. What happened?
I told Anita everything I could, though I knew very little. Max was barely conscious. I could only hope that with Anita's loving care, he would recover. As for me, I had to follow Milo and his captors immediately.
I'll bring Milo home, Anita. I promise.
Thank you, Foster. I know you will.
Dawn was breaking as I left the village. The featureless wastes of the Gap stretched away from me. Night followed day, then day dawned once more. Time lost meaning as the tracks beckoned me ever forward. Determination had long replaced sadness. Whatever it took, I would find Milo. The tracks were barely visible now, blurred by the wind. But I was sure I'd reach their destination soon. Then I saw the thing I feared the most approaching. Sandstorm. I battled forward, but now could only guess that my direction was correct. I decided to save my energy and sank into an exhausted sleep. Maybe the old woman was right. Maybe demons did stalk the Gap. For as it shrieked and thundered around me, the storm brought back my nightmare once more. Union City security was attacking. As my tribe screamed in terror, I salvaged Joey's motherboard. Taken captive, I couldn't save my village. But I survived when the security copter crashed, entering Union City. On the run, I soon got Joey working. Upgraded yet again, he helped me overthrow the evil that ran the city. As I left, I told him to make the citizens happy. Union City was no place for me. I wanted to be where I could do most good, helping the scattered people of the Gap. I woke to find the storm had passed. But not without finishing its cruel work. The tracks were gone. I was lost, and so, I feared, was Milo. Then, I heard them. Gang birds, scavengers, and in this wasteland, that meant only one thing: people. Despair turned to hope. I was sure that if I could find where the stalker had gone, I would find Milo. Then, in the distance, I saw a girl crouching over a body.
welcome to this commentary feature. My name is Charles Cecil and I am the game director. Please interact with the comic book pages that you'll find throughout the game to hear members of our team talk about the approach to design, art, audio and general. Obviously these commentaries contain spoilers, so I recommend that you only enable this feature once you've completed the game and are playing through again and want to get an insight into its making. Thank you for playing Beyond a Steel Sky, and thank you for taking an interest in this commentary.
Just as we had with the original game, we wanted to have a comic book introduction to Beyond a Steel Sky, and we were able to actually work in a slightly different way because the way the characters appeared in the game had been designed to look like a comic book. So it was a question of retrofitting the comic book to the way things appeared in the game, rather than with the original where we only had blocky sprites and really quite crudely drawn backgrounds, and we did a much enhanced version for the comic book.
Speak to the girl.
Here we were working on at a very high level anyway. And we also knew that there had been advances in comic books in the time since we did the first game. A company called Madefire had...
Hey, excuse me.
Who the hell are you?
I'm searching for a vehicle that...
No! Damn birds!
Wait, I just...
Whatever that device was, the bird had it now.
Affected a range of motion comics and motion books, and I had many friends there, and we decided that we would do an animated version of a comic book to introduce the game, and a print version as well, so that you got some sort of solid object to keep as well. And we were also able to include speech in the motion comic version of it.
Check out that body.
And I was greatly helped, as I have been throughout these two games, by a friend of mine called Angus Mackay, who's a wonderful artist, cover designer, colorist, and he worked with my rough drafts and outline drawings for the comic book and added color and atmosphere to it, and you know, really enhanced it as he always has done. And he was also included in the jolly that we had a few years ago for the first game, where we went to Castle Howard and had a wonderful meal, and it was really great to get the team together. And I'm hoping that when circumstances permit, we'll all be able to get together and celebrate this game.
A corpse lay propped against a rock. The girl had been doing something to the guy's hand. I wondered what. He'd clearly been dead for days. The logo. I'd seen it before. On the androids that had taken Milo. The girl was my only lead. I had to follow her. Union City. I was back. Over the years, I'd heard rumors of how the city had thrived since I'd left Joey in charge. I was finally going to see for myself.
Halt!
Welcome, unregistered Gaplander.
Well, hi. And you are?
Community Welfare Droid 2CU at your service. To commence your Union City registration, please make your way to the immigration terminal.
That's okay, I'm not here to register. I'm looking for...
If you're looking for the immigration terminal, it's right over there. Thank you.
I've never seen a droid like you.
And I've never seen a Gaplander like you.
I bet. And what is it you do?
I tell Gaplanders like you to visit the immigration terminal and register.
Let me know how that goes. So how do I register?
Easy. Just go to the immigration terminal and you'll get a U-chip for your temporary ID. The correct route is indicated by these signs.
Sounds easy.
It is. Without it, you won't be able to interact with any of the Minos devices in this area.
Can you help me find a missing kid?
You want to file a missing persons report? Go register.
What's this Minos you mentioned?
Minos is the interconnected computer system that is everywhere and controls everything.
Everything? That sounds very similar to Link.
For the convenience of all citizens. And, word to the wise, no U-chip, no access to the Minos devices. Not even the vending machines. So go register.
I'm looking for a vehicle that maybe came this way.
A vehicle? Well, this is a freight entrance. So, you're in the right place.
Right. I need to find a boy called Milo. He was...
What you need to find is the immigration terminal. It's right over there.
How do I get to immigration?
The terminal is at the wall end of the garden. The correct route is indicated by these signs. Soon as you've registered, you can access the Minos devices.
What exactly is a U-chip?
Don't they teach you Gaplanders anything? A U-chip stores your ID and personal data in a micro-implant. The immigration terminal is easy to find. What's keeping you? The correct route is indicated by these signs.
Thanks for your time.
Enjoyed every minute of it. How can I be of assistance?
When the animation team worked on 2CU, initially the character was more functional. Their eye as a camera lens, for example, so it didn't have an eyelid or eyebrow. After some initial animation tests, we found the droids weren't very expressive, they were too robotic. So we sent some of the droid characters, including 2CU, back to our character rigger.
Hey, kid.
Hey, weird guy.
My name's not Weird Guy.
I'm Pixel. It's easy to remember because it rhymes with pickle.
So it does. I'm Foster.
I'll remember that easy because your name rhymes with fossil and you're old.
Thanks, kid. What's wrong with the roundabout?
It sucks. Stupid Mr. Hobbsworth put a chain on it. He said it was for safety, then he dropped the chain on his foot.
Your roundabout probably has a chain on it for a reason.
Yeah, and that reason is Mr. Hobbsworth is stupid. Can you fix it?
What's your story, Pixel?
Well, I'm 8 years old, and my birthday is in only 64 days. I'm really good at math, and I can even lift my sister. And she's super fat.
Very comprehensive.
Yep. Anything I can help you with today?
I'm looking for a boy about your age named Milo, who may have come through here.
You're asking the right guy. I remember every face that's come through here since I was a little kid.
Yeah? How many's that?
Like, at least 12. How recently are we talking?
Sometime over the past couple of nights.
Oh, didn't know. Haven't seen no kids.
Did a vehicle come through here recently?
Maybe. How recently is recently?
Like 2 nights ago?
Oh, then definitely no. But wait, 2 nights ago? My brother, Vauxhall, he saw this giant monster.
What kind of monster?
Like a totally huge, but not real one.
Huge, but not real?
I mean, Vauxhall says it's totally huge, and Ember says it's not real.
Well, which is it?
I don't know what to believe.
What's this about a giant monster?
Right, so my brother Vauxhall, like 2 nights ago, it was night time, right? And we had been playing this massive game of buzzsaws and dynamos, so I was like, wah! But, where was I?
The giant monster.
Oh yeah, right. So, later that night, he wakes me up screaming about how he saw a giant monster.
And?
That's the end of my story. Don't tell Ember I told you.
See you around.
Call it if you need anything.
I recognized the girl. She was the one who'd run away from me earlier. It was the girl I'd seen earlier. Excuse me. Hello?
You!
Me what?
You're the guy in the desert!
And you're the girl with the corpse.
Okay, first of all, that guy was dead long before I got there. And second of all, it's your fault Big Steve stole my date!
Lost your what? To who?
Do you realize how much potential trade you've cost me?
Honestly, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Ugh. I trade. I'm a trader. Name's Ember.
What were you doing out there in the desert with that corpse?
Mister, are you looking to trade something or what?
Trade?
Trade, you know, tech, gadgets, knickknacks from the Gap or the city.
That's what I do. I collect stuff, sell stuff, trade stuff. Only, since you're interfering, let Big Steve fly off with my deet, it'll be a while before I can make proper trades again. Now excuse me.
What's a deet?
My deet, man. DTT. Data transfer tool. Deet.
What's the deet for?
Duh, transferring data. That's what I was doing with that dead fella. Transferring his citizen ID for trading, yeah? You distracted me and Big Steve nabbed it and flew off. Like I said, thanks.
I'm looking for a boy named Milo who might have come through here recently.
You're looking in the wrong place. Only boys around here are Pixel and Vauxhall, and the only thing they're missing is a few screws.
Tell me about this deet.
Simple. I collect IDs and I use the deet to swap them. At least I did, until Big Steve grabbed it.
Did you see a strange vehicle come through this way?
Strange? You mean like that stinky one there?
No, this one had legs.
Not seen anything like that. Maybe you didn't either, crazy guy.
I'm not crazy.
Sure you're not.
Who's Big Steve?
You see all these birds all over the place? Big Steve's the purple one, with a beak full of my deet.
What do you trade?
Like I said, sometimes people from outside want stuff from the inside. Sometimes people from inside want stuff from the outside. Second one doesn't happen very often since inside's got, like, everything and free. But it happens.
Suppose a guy from outside wanted to get inside.
Ah, my most popular item. Until Big Steve took my deet, that is.
That's all for now. Thanks.
Anytime. Oh, wait, no. Come back if you want to talk business.
For someone with a business interest in dead bodies, she seemed pretty normal. There was a strange smell, and it was coming from the truck. The guy looked like he'd been out in the sun a bit too long. Smelled like it, too. Sir, excuse me, sir. Are you...
Whatever you're selling, I ain't buying.
No, I'm not selling any...
A likely story. Name's Wendell. Joe Wendell.
Nice to meet you.
That remains to be seen.
What are you doing here?
Well, whilst Bruce's power cell remains as flat as a cowpat, not a whole lot.
So you're trying to get in the city?
Abso-bloomin' Trying being the operative word.
Listen, you haven't seen a child come through here, have you?
Pinch something of yours?
No, he was kidnapped from a nearby village.
Oh, I see. Sorry to hear that. You're not the first I've heard talking about kids going missing in the Gap. But I've never seen any come through here. Have you asked those kids over by the playground? They've been here a lot longer than me.
I don't want to alarm you, but there's a strange odor wafting from the back of your truck.
I don't smell out.
Really? Because it's like...
Except the splendid scent of tasty mini Ks, the finest organic knackverse the Gap has to offer.
Don't believe me? Look at those gangs. They love my knackverse. Can't chase them away.
So, your truck is full of... mini knockwurst?
You betcha. Mini K, best in the Gap. Even contains some real meat. You're welcome to take a handful. Back of the truck's open, although the doors like to play silly beggars.
Oh?
Requires a special technique. Ritual, you could call it.
Ritual?
Aye. Now listen carefully. Step 1, give the bumper a wallop. Step 2, do a little jig. Step 3, pull the door and jerk it hard.
Wallop, jig, pull. That it?
That's it, lad. And remember the order.
The doors, they're locked shut.
Not locked, jammed. Oh, and I'm all out of lubricant.
So how can I get in?
Didn't you listen? It's a ritual. First off, give the bumper a good wallop. Then, do a little jig.
A jig?
Aye, a jig. Then pull the door hard.
Pretty technical, huh?
Have to move with the times, pal.
I'm looking for a vehicle.
Well, mate, today's your lucky day. This is a vehicle.
No, I'm looking for a special vehicle.
But Brucey is special. All he needs is his power cell and we'll be on our way.
The vehicle I'm looking for had 4 legs and no wheels.
A vehicle with legs? Think you've got bats in your belfry, mate.
Your truck's power cell has drained.
Aye, emptier than a politician's vows. There was a sandstorm put the bridge over yonder out of action. I was told to go park for a few hours. Turned into a few days. Trying to keep the mini-case cool in this heat emptied the power cell. I wasn't stingy on the aircon, mind, or the margarita blender up in the cab. A working man needs his creature comforts.
Anyway, 13.7 volts drained to naught.
And they still haven't fixed that blooming bridge.
And you've been sat here ever since?
No choice, until they send someone out to juice up Bruce's power cell. Someone competent, I mean.
Be seeing you.
Aye.
One of the posts was jammed. Excuse me.
Oh, hello, visitor.
What's up with your bollard? Maybe I can help.
You?
Sure.
Hey, listen, Mr. Gaplander. It's totally cute that you want to help. But this mechanism's a teeny bit more advanced than what you're used to.
You'd be surprised. I'm pretty handy with these sorts of things.
Sorry, got to get back to this bollard. It ain't gonna fix itself.
I called upon my extensive background in engineering.
Hey! It's working! Hey, we fixed it!
Yeah, piece of cake.
Dude, council sure is shining in my direction today. Do you know how many times I've scanned this thing? The last scan must have done the trick. You see, I'm the diagnostician and tech expert around here. Name's Hobsworth. What can I do for you?
How are things going with Wendell's power cell?
It's in my office.
But how long until it's charged?
It's hard to say, but it's on my list.
Hey, have you by any chance seen a kid come through here?
Where's the little dude headed? On an adventure, is he?
Oh no. He was kidnapped, snatched from his village, and brought this way.
Oh, right. Nope. I haven't seen anything like that. Sorry. Now, if you don't mind, I've got to get back to work.
Excuse me?
Well, hey there, stranger. How's your day going so far?
Well,
Great, I'll bet. Anything old Hobsworth can do for you? By the way, just so you know, I'm on the clock.
Yes, of course, no problem. So what's your deal, Hobsworth?
I am a diagnostician for the Ministry of Comfort.
And what exactly does a diagnostician do?
I find problems.
And fix them?
No, I just diagnose them. Minos fixes them.
I'm looking for a vehicle that might have passed this way.
What kind of vehicle? Maybe I can help.
Well, I didn't get a good look, but I know it has 4 giant legs.
Legs? Word to the wise man. Vehicles have wheels.
Not this one. It walked on the sand. And it was, shaped like a dog.
Whoa. That doesn't sound like any vehicle I've ever heard of. And I've got more magazines under my bed than you can even imagine.
See you around, Hobsworth.
Oh, before I forget, I really appreciate your patience back there when I was fixing the bridge. Let me thank you properly.
Okay.
Oh, I forgot. You're from the Gap.
What's wrong with that?
Well, you don't have a U-chip, so I can't give you any kudos. Keep a smile on your face.
The bridge seemed to be operated by some sort of hand scanner.
How can I help?
Whatever it was trying to detect, I didn't have one.
Please obtain one at the immigration terminal.
Whatever it was trying to detect, I didn't have one.
Please proceed to the immigration terminal if you would like a free spin.
We needed to make the game accessible to people who hadn't played the original, so we added a statue here of Joey, which the player may or may not choose to interact with. Since Joey's story is at the very heart of this game, we needed to introduce him and his past, but ideally from a different perspective to what fans of the original...
The gangs clearly weren't scared of me. Those birds weren't going to let me anywhere near the back of the truck.
How can I be of assistance?
Writing and designing a puzzle around children was always going to be interesting, especially ones with such extensive dialogue trees as Pixel and Voxel. Kevin, our writer, had the particular challenge of writing jokes and quips that came from the mind of a child but made comedic sense to an adult. Beyond the writing, the voice acting work is also extremely crucial in delivering that sentiment. Rosie, who did an amazing job of playing a number of characters in the game, had the challenge of playing both Pixel and Voxel. What I found particularly impressive about all of this was when we were directing these lines in the studio, Rosie would seemingly respond and contribute to feedback as an 8-year-old child, without the temper tantrums, of course.
It seemed Ember was some sort of tech scavenger. Hi.
Hi again.
So are you digging that guy's U-chip out of his hand?
What? No! Data transfer. I told you. I cloned his ID data onto the deed for later.
What happens later?
Well, you know, maybe someone doesn't want to be found. I do swapsies.
For a price?
Yeah.
See you around.
Later, man.
A sandpit. In the desert. The irony sure wasn't lost on me. Hi.
Hi again.
What were you doing out there in the desert with that corpse?
I told you already. I was... Only now, Big Steve has my deed and ipso facto, the ID.
Thanks, Ember.
Later, man.
Anything you can tell me about this finger?
Whoa. Okay, this is some serious kit. The micro actuators alone are worth a bundle. Want to trade?
I think I'll hold on to it for now.
Since we decided to use Unreal Engine for the game in 2016, it was immediately clear that we needed to develop our own solution for stylized rendering. During those very early research stages, we also needed something that allowed us to iterate.
One of the things we really wanted to capture in the music was the range of different tones you would get from interacting with the various characters throughout the story. So the music could, on the one hand, sit underneath and complement the dialogue, but also...
Writing and designing a puzzle around children was always going to be interesting, especially ones with such extensive dialogue trees as Pixel and Voxel. Kevin, our writer, had the particular challenge of writing jokes and quips that came from the mind of a child but made comedic sense to an adult. Beyond the writing, the voice acting work is also extremely crucial.
To bring our dialogue to life, we have voice performance, camera angle, body animation, lip sync animation and facial expression. Each of these are assets applied to an individual line of the script. The first encounter you have with Ember was the first dialogue we got.
How can I be of assistance?
In the original game, Foster was given his name by a shaman because the villagers fostered him when he was orphaned. When Dave Gibbons drew the comic in the early 90s, we thought that it would be fun.
I hadn't seen one of these terminals in 10 years. Link. The evil behind everything that happened all those years ago. The attack on my village. The death of my mother. Nothing happened. Probably because the machine had had its innards ripped out.
Charles and I first met, it must have been late 80s or early 90s, after I'd come off the success of Watchmen, and Charles had seen this and thought I might just be the person to do some interesting world building for some new games that they were working on. Indeed, in the first instance, he was interested in actually licensing Watchmen, but of course that had long since been tied up in the contract that Alan Moore and I had with DC Comics, so it wasn't available. We weren't able to work together that first time round, but we kept in touch. You know, from the beginning we sort of hit it off with each other. And in around 1993, Charles approached me again in earnest, asking me if I'd be interested in working on a new adventure game. Revolution had just done Lure of the Temptress, which was a kind of sword and sorcery, magic sort of game, which wasn't quite my cup of tea. But the sort of dystopian world that they had in mind for Beneath the Steel Sky, which is what the game eventually was called, you know, was something that suited my talents and my design taste rather well.
We'd initially planned that there would be another section through the waterfall, until we realised that there was already about an hour's gameplay and that players might get frustrated if they were...
I didn't rate my chances against all of those razor-sharp beaks. I guess this was the immigration terminal.
Welcome to the Union City Registration Terminal. Please place your hand below to receive your U-chip implant.
Ouch! A U-chip had been implanted into the palm of my hand. I wasn't sure how it was going to help me. The hologram showed a young woman in uniform.
Sorry to keep you waiting, sir. Welcome to Union City. My name is Greta. It is my duty and pleasure to answer any questions you may have about Union City and the local area. How may I help you today?
This U-chip thing, what does it do?
It allows you to interact with all the Minos devices in the area, as well as storing all your personal information.
Sounds kinda invasive.
We prefer the word transformative, sir.
So is Joey still running things around here?
He was, until just a few years ago.
That doesn't sound good. Hope he didn't screw things up.
Not at all, sir. Joey the Savior was a great leader. Citizen happiness reached unprecedented levels.
Good to hear it. I happen to be an old friend of his.
Oh, we're all friends of Joey, sir. Gone but not forgotten.
I'm looking for a vehicle. Has anything come through here?
No.
You haven't seen a weird vehicle with legs instead of wheels?
Polite apology. I cannot discuss the details of other visitors' vehicular movements.
But this vehicle, it kidnapped a child.
Is there anything else I can help you with today?
A child has been kidnapped from my village.
From your village? Was the child a registered citizen of Union City?
No, his name is Milo, and...
Polite apology. Minos can only concern itself with registered citizens.
I was hoping you'd be able to help.
And isn't hope a wonderful thing? In the meantime, do you have any other queries?
Have a nice day.
In Union City, sir, there is no other kind of day.
The bridge seemed to be operated by some sort of hand scanner.
Error. Insufficient permission. Citizen ID required.
Enjoy this little piece of happiness, courtesy of Minos.
The machine ejected a garish, beclowned can of soda labeled Spankles.
You are currently at your maximum allotted Spankles allowance. Have a nice day.
Citizen, welcome to the abridged audio-visual Union City fact file. The Union City walls were forged in 1994 by a small team of resilient workers. A common misconception is that the team was formed of Australian citizens. This couldn't be further from the truth. The city wall was constructed using British steel imported, along with workers, from Hull in the United Kingdom. Many of the citizens of Union City can trace their ancestry back to that small and very dedicated group of immigrants. This concludes your requested fact. Please return for an all-new Union City fact. And remember, be vigilant. This message is sponsored by the Ministry of Comfort.